Hi, I'm Jackie and welcome to My Magical Home, a place where I like to create all kinds of creative homemaking content to share with you. Now today I'm inviting you to come along with me for some holiday magic as we make some DIY decor. Now I am going to show you how to take the vines from your very own garden and turn them into some ethereal, magical pieces that are sure to add that extra special touch this season. So make sure to stay tuned. To get this DIY started, we need to start some boiling water, and I thought it would be fun to add a handful of clove, allspice, and a handful of cinnamon sticks to the water because I thought it would just give that wonderful Christmas smell to the vines that we're working with. Now this water is going to be used to let our vines soak so that it can actually make the wood more pliable. So these are the vines that we're going to be working with today. They are a mixture of honeysuckle as well as hop vines. Now I felt like the hop vines actually held better with the bending than the honeysuckle, which had a tendency to fray. And that's what I think I'll be using in the future when I do this. So with all of my vines in the tub, I had been letting my water simmer for about 30 minutes, giving it the most beautiful crimson color and also the most gorgeous smell. Like it was fantastic. Everything smelled like Christmas. I was so excited. And I just went ahead and poured it over all of the vines, adding as much water as I could. I did do a couple different loads, and I did come back in with this like little weird squeegee broom thing I have and kind of push the vines back down into the water, keeping it as wet as possible. Now, if you decide to do the spice version, I don't recommend doing it in your tub. We will touch on that in just a minute. Okay, so we've got our vines soaking. You want to make sure that your entire vine is underneath and completely submerged in the water, because if you don't, they're not going to have that pliability and bendability that you are going to need for this craft. Now, before I went ahead and took them in, you will notice that most of them were just singular vines. My husband kind of went through, got a whole bunch of the leaves off, a couple of the stems. That way it wasn't quite as much work, and that was really helpful. But we didn't have time to take off the bark. And after we let it soak for about 3 hours and I went through with a towel and just kind of cleaned off each of the branches before I used them, the actual extra bark for most of them just came right off, like super easy. So it was really easy to do. And I'm glad that I decided to wait as opposed to spend hours trying to chip away all that bark before I soaked them. So just a random tip. And speaking of tips, my great idea with the spices in the tub, everything smells beautiful. The house smells of Christmas. And my tub looks like a murder happened. So I recommend using either like some kind of a feed like tub or something from the Tractor Supply or some kind of a laundry bin, something else, so that you are not staining your precious tub and creating hours worth of work for yourself like I did for myself. But let's go ahead and get started on the bases for these DIYs. We're going to start out making the base for our Christmas tree. Now this is just a random piece of cardboard that I had, and I'm just cutting out a circle. And then I'm going to come in with my hot glue gun and some shish kebab skewers, and I am just going to glue them to the base of this little cardboard circle and meeting up at the top until I have a full Christmas tree shape. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Now it's time to make the base for our star ornaments that we're making. And these are actually little 6-inch miniature shish kebab skewers, or like cocktail picks. And I am just gluing them together to form a star shape. In an attempt to make things a little bit more secure, I decided to come around the base of my tree with some twine. I only had red on hand. I do regret that and don't recommend it because you did see my red at the base in the end, and it is what it is, but I wasn't as pleased with myself for that. And after that, I came through and kind of tied together all the different places on those stars that I made so that they would be extra secure. Just anywhere where the wood met, I went ahead and tied it. I tied it on one side and then I flipped it over and tied it again, cut off the edges, and then hot glued those edges down so that they would not fray up. I really wanted these to be stable. Now it's time for the fun part. We are going to weave in these vines. And I did take a towel over each of the vines and just kind of stripped it down along it, just to get off any dirt, any bark, anything like that off the vine before we got started. And then you basically just twirl it around your bases over and over and over again until you feel like it looks full enough and is what you're looking for. I don't know. I thought this was really fun. I actually got to just sit back and watch a movie and relax. It was such a laid-back DIY to do. It was something that I really can't wait to try again in the future. So when it came to adding the vines to this tree, I have to say it was really easy, but it took way more vines than I was expecting. It wasn't a difficult task. It just was kind of a little bit tedious. You're just wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. But it turned out so cute and I was so excited. But I wanted to give you that heads up. You might need a little bit more vines for this project than you expect when it comes to the tree. The stars really didn't use that much, but the tree, it has a hearty amount of vines in it. All right, so I have all of my pieces weaved together. You can tell, obviously, I didn't show you the entire weaving process online because, I mean, really, how much do you need to see me just wrapping vines over and over again and kind of weaving them in? It was super simple, but it was tedious, but totally worth it. And I recommend it 100% because you're gonna end up with some really magical pieces after you're done. Now, I did create 3 stars as well as the Christmas tree itself. But unfortunately, my dog ate one of the tree ornaments, which was the stars. And so we only have 2 of those left. And after they are done drying, I'm going to show you how I came back in with just a simple, like $5 pack of twinkle lights from Walmart to add a little bit extra to that tree that I feel like just sent it over the moon. Stay tuned. I feel like this part explains itself, but I basically just took the twinkle lights and twirled them all around the tree. And I was so excited with just how this took this craft to the next level. It gave it that finishing touch that I was looking for, and it was so simple. So these are my finished tree stars, and I'm going to be using these as ornaments. Now, I did try taking lights around these as well, just to see how they looked on the tree, and honestly, it kind of took away from the whole vibe. So I decided to just leave them plain, and I think that they turned out really cute for a random craft that I basically got from free from my yard. And the best part is that no matter where we go, no matter what happens, these things were made from things that we worked hard to grow. They were made from our home, and so that gives them that extra little bit of special fun that I know is something that I will cherish for years to come. Now let's go ahead and I'll show you that tree. So this is my tree. I am so thrilled with it, and I could not be more excited to do more of these crafts next year and to try out all different kinds of things with this vine weaving technique. And I think that this is just going to add such a fun touch to my home and add just a little bit of that extra special magic. I would love to hear your guys' opinions on how everything turned out today, and if you guys think that you might try this craft yourself out at home. Anyways though, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I've got tons of fun content coming your way. And most importantly though, I hope you have an absolutely magical day, my friends. See you next time.